Good afternoon, my dear students. I am P. Krishnamurthy, lecturer in English, Government Degree College for Women, Vanaparthi. It's a great pleasure for me to speak to you today on very important topic which was included in your syllabus. So I invite the attention of all students to come join. Yeah, good afternoon, Anjali. Is that Anjali? And speaking. Come on, tell me. Come to the view, all the students. Yeah, here is Bharati. So I invite the attention of all the students of BCom and of course BA students also. Whoever is willing to listen to my class and view my class is greatly invited to have the opportunity of enjoying the class because I'm going to explain in a very extended manner about William Shakespeare, the greatest dramatist in the world of English language and literature, a man who ruled the entire English drama. Perhaps you might have certain primary knowledge about William Shakespeare during my leave. Our other lecturers might have talked about it. So, students like Rajeshwari, Saujanya, Shivani, Gayatri, and Nikita, Bharati, why don't you come to the view? Come to the view. That is very important so that I could understand that these students are listening carefully and also join as early as possible because the time is limited and the video is going on and I am teaching. That's why I invite the attention of all the students. So, William Shakespeare was born on 26th April. He died on 23rd April. So, a man born in the same month, a man died in the same month. So, this is very spectacular. This is something remarkable. Remarkable. This is something unexpected also. So William Shakespeare presented 37 dramas, which are really marvelous items in English literature. Every drama had shown wonderful, wonderful devices, a wonderful perspectives of life to the next generation. He lived in the 16th century. He lived in the 16th century and that century is named after his name. That's why it is called Shakespearean era. Shakespearean era. Shakespearean era is otherwise known as the Elizabethan era. Elizabethan era is otherwise known as 16th century. The entire century is named after one writer. This was not done. This was never happened before, and this was not happened after. This was happened only once during the living time of William Shakespeare, the 16th century, otherwise known as Shakespearean century. So, in the world of drama, in the world of English language, in the world of English literature, he was the person who ruled each and every item. He wrote numerous poems. He attempted tragedies, comedies, romances, historical dramas. The greatest tragedies are Hamlet, Macbeth, Othello, King Lear. The greatest romances, as you know pretty well, Romeo and Juliet. Romeo Juliet, a wonderful drama, of course, romantic tragedy. It ended in tragic manner. Lot of romance is there. Today, if everyone, so you look like Romeo, you look like you look like Juliet. So unmatching, unmatching dramas were written by William Shakespeare. They were unparalleled. They were unique by themselves. Think about tragedies like Othello, King Lear. Every word in his dramas, it was just like, or it just like a parable. It's just like a proverb. You take any sentence, that is going to be a literary device. For example, you think about this one, Julius Caesar. Have come here to bury Caesar, not to praise him. When Mark Antony comes to that common area where common Roman public were sitting, were assembled there, after his entry, the first dialogue, this is the most unkindest cut of all. What a wonderful usage. The most unkindest cut of all. When Brutus started speech, Romans, countrymen, lovers. Romans, countrymen, my dear friends. You see the utterance? Whenever you address the huge gathering, one should know how to address the huge gathering. Don't say, ladies and gentlemen, of course, this is also one way of addressing the people, but you have to so take hold of their hearts and minds with your oratoryship, with your so spoken skill. So when you listen to the speech of Brutus, you come to know what kind of talent that he possessed, how he pacified, how he managed, how he convinced them. The people who were agitated like anything, who were furious like anything after the murder of Julius Caesar, but all of them were pacified with the wonderful oratorship of Brutus. So when you listen to the speech of or oratorship of Mark Antony, you come to know that the so-called pacified audience became so furious, agitated once again. They became so with so much of anger. They wanted to kill the killers and murderers of Julius Caesar. So an ordinary person can become so furious with the person how the way how you employ the language. Here, how you employ the language, how you make use of language, that's very important. How you put your words, how you convince the people. So it's not only knowing language, you should know the skill of so employing the language according to the situation. So here you find two so great orators addressing the so audience. One is Brutus, the other one is so Julius Caesar, the other one is Mark Antony. Wonderful one. You can't just even so that is the reason I just appeal to all the students community to go through the lines, to read the so drama in between lines. You read that so translated one, you read that abridged edition, you read the real version of drama. So go through that one, read in between the lines, read line by line, enjoy the each and every dialogue of Brutus and Mark Antony, then you also feel very emotional to speak, and that is needed. That is needed. Maybe when you complete your graduation, so you may attend some of the interviews. You should know how to convince the people with your oratorship, with your knowledge, with your wiseness, with your philosophy, with your skill. And all these soft skills are going to be tested when you appear before the interview board after your UG and PG. And these things, all the students of UG and PG are supposed to learn. So don't read this uh, item, this lesson as a lesson for examination. Of course, you prepare well and you write relevant answers in the examinations, you get good marks only. There is no doubt about that one. Apart from that, what else do you gain from this lesson? You need to learn the skill, art of speaking. You need to learn the skill of language. You need to learn how to present your views in a very convincing manner. So when you listen to the speeches, when you read the speeches of Brutus and Mark Antony, you only come to know what kind of beautiful language was employed by so William Shakespeare to convince that common Roman public, common Roman mob, who didn't have their own way of thinking power, how they were tackled, how they were managed, how they were so allowed to listen, how they were allowed to pacify themselves. All these things were there in the speeches of so Brutus and Mark Antony. That's the thing. So William Shakespeare has written Othello, Macbeth, King Lear, so Hamlet, and Romeo and Juliet, Julius Caesar. This is one very tragedy. Of course, this very it ended in tragic manner. And we have some historical plays like Henry, Richard, and some comedies are also there. Some comedies are also there. As you like it, a Midsummer Night's Dream, and maybe some other romance also like maybe Tempest. Some wonderful sonnets written by William Shakespeare. They became very popular. So any English lecturer, any lover of English language and literature could know all about William Shakespeare only. So even today also people love to learn from the dramas written by William Shakespeare. So this is all very general discussion about this one. Come on, my dear students like Shivani and Bharati, Nikita, and other students. So, do you have any special, so any ideas to interact with me? Please tell me. Please try to give your so inputs. Try to give your impressions on this drama. Shivani, Nikita, Rajeshwari, Akila. So, anyhow, who is Julius Caesar? What are the characters that you come across in this drama? In Act 3 and Scene 2. The entire drama is not prescribed for study, is not prescribed for examination. Only Act 3 and Scene 2 of Julius Caesar is kept for study. It is kept for study only to learn that so language skills only. So when the so Act 3, scene so 2 opens in the drama. What happens there? Julius Caesar. So what are the Julius? Who is Julius Caesar? A Roman general, Roman commander, Roman warrior. So after participating so in lot of battles, after getting a lot of victories, so Julius Caesar came back to the Roman kingdom, and he was also enjoying his life. He was very kind with all the members, and he was also talking to each and every members. every member, and he had two good friends. One is Brutus, the other one is Mark Antony. One is Brutus, so the other one is Mark Antony. Of course, Julius Caesar loved the people of Rome, Roman kingdom, so much and so forth. He had no bad intention of becoming a king. But some enemies like Cassius, Casca, and other conspirators, some enemies like these people, so they wanted to limit the advances of, limit the name and fame of Julius Caesar. They wanted to curtail the prosperity and advancement of Julius Caesar, even though he didn't have any bad idea of becoming a king of that Roman kingdom. But some people know who are very envious of the development of Julius Caesar. So they try to spread the message. They try to spread the message that Julius Caesar was becoming ambitious. Julius Caesar was becoming greedy enough. Julius Caesar was going to take the power of the kingdom. Julius Caesar was going to become the future king of Roman kingdom. Julius Caesar was going to capture all the primary rights of the common people. So he was going to be a very cruel dictator. And somehow these people, some conspirators, enemies of Julius Caesar, who did not like his advancements so much, they all of them they gathered together. They wanted to finish, they wanted to kill, they wanted to assassinate Julius Caesar. And it could not be possible as long as Brutus was there, it could not be materialized. They felt like that. So they approached Brutus, who was a nationalist, who was a great lover of his country. Of course, he was a great friend of Julius Caesar. They approached him. Oh, Brutus, your friend Julius Caesar was becoming very greedy, was becoming very ambitious. He was becoming very cruel. So he looked like a dictator. Maybe he was going to capture the throne, the crown of the Roman kingdom. Maybe he was going to be the future king. He had that bad intention. If he could become the king of Roman kingdom, and all the primary rights of the common people who could be captured by him in that way, so they try to induce, they try to persuade Brutus with all bad intentions, with all bad ideas, with all evil thoughts. So here is a man, Brutus, who loved his country so much. So he became victim to the conspirators. He also nodded his head. Okay, when Julius Caesar was going to be greedy, when Julius Caesar was going to be hardened to crack to all the members of this country, so I think I love my country so much. Of course, I do respect my friend Julius Caesar, but first I like my country so much. When two things are kept in before me, whom do you like most? Do you want your country? Do you want your friend Julius Caesar? When two options are kept before Julius Caesar, naturally he opts for his own country. Such a great lover of his country. That's why the conspirators knew the weakness of Brutus. Otherwise, it was not possible for the conspirators to kill Julius Caesar in the presence of Brutus. So they very cleverly, skillfully were they allowed Brutus to be one of the conspirators. So Brutus also, for the sake of his country, so he also joined his hands with those conspirators. A day has come, a day has come. So Julius Caesar came to the legislative assembly. So legislative assembly in a Senate hall. So legislative assembly, he conducted meeting. After the meeting, when he was about to leave, what happened? That was the question. When he was about to leave, all the conspirators surrounded him. one by one, pierced the long swords, and so stabbed some people, stabbed with staggers, daggers. Some people, so all, so people, so attacked Julius Caesar, and 37 stabbings were 37 stabbings were done. The last person who stabbed him from behind was no other than his kind friend. His kind friend was no other than so Brutus. So Julius Caesar, while he was falling to the ground after being so stabbed by the conspirators, he turned his head and wanted to see the last person who so pierced the dagger from behind with a lot of force. He wanted to see the so face of that person. When he turned his head like this, then he happened to see Brutus, his kind friend, his dear friend, his lovely friend, his noble friend. Oh, Brutus! Hey, too, Brutus! You too, Brutus! You also came to kill me? When you were ready to kill me, definitely I might have done very wrong thing. I would have done very, very greater mistake. I would have done inexcusable mistake. Otherwise, so my friend, noble friend like Brutus could never come here to kill me. When you came here to kill me, when you sent your dagger into my heart from behind, definitely I must be killed. I must be killed. But so saying, so the dead body of Julius Caesar fell to the ground. The dead body of Julius Caesar fell to the ground. So then what happened? When Julius Caesar was murdered, when he was assassinated in Senate Hall, after completing that Senate meeting, when he was about to come, so he was murdered. And that news spread like anything. That news spread like anything. So the news spread to all the corners of that city, Roman city, and all the common people. They have got one common area, a big ground is there. All the common people gathered there. Some hundreds of the members gathered there. So at that time, so Brutus entered the ground. Brutus entered the ground. Then all the people who were very furious, very, very angry enough, so very so agitated, they wanted to ask, they wanted to question Brutus. Who were those people who killed Julius Caesar? Has he done any wrong thing? Then why was he killed like anything? So they wanted to clarify their own doubt. They wanted to pose many questions to so Brutus was coming, and Brutus so was considered to be the wise man, the great man, the rational person, and he was considered the philosopher of that Roman kingdom. When he came there, how did he address the common people? How did he address the common people? That is very important. Roman, countrymen, and my dear friends and lovers. Romans, countrymen, my dear friends and lovers. Then one citizen asked, who killed Julius Caesar? I want to kill that conspirator. I want to kill that person who killed Julius Caesar. Stay there. Stay there. Do you think that you are a great lover of Julius Caesar than me? Is there anyone here who could love Julius Caesar more than me? Then the entire crowd became very silent because every member in Roman kingdom knew very well. So Brutus was a great admirer, was a great noble friend of Julius Caesar. When Brutus questioned like that, is there anyone who could so love Julius Caesar more than me? The entire crowd became silent. Then he started speaking. That is the best way. When all the people are making any so sounds, immediately you have to take that entire crowd into your hand with a single dialogue. Here, he employed that one. He employed that device here. Here, so Brutus employed that device by speaking, Romans, countrymen, and my dear lovers of Roman kingdom. my dear friends. That's enough. If anyone comes and says that, you great lady, you noble lady, you good girl, you lovely girl, if anyone comes and says like this, can you say no? Can you say against to him? Can you say against to her? No, you can't say like that. Because when somebody praises you, you just keep quiet. You just become humble. You just become humble. You just become peaceful. In that way, here is a man, Brutus, who was very wise and philosophic in his mind. So he tried to keep the audience into his control by saying that I am the person who loved Julius Caesar most. Not that I love Caesar less, but I love Rome more. You see this sentence? Not that I love Rome less, but I love Rome more. Not that I love Caesar less, but I love more. So I love my friend more. I love my friend so much, but I love my country more. Of course, my love is shared, so my love to Julius Caesar is great, but my love to my motherland is greater than my love to my friend Julius Caesar. The very first dialogue that was that kept the entire audience in a in the spell of Brutus. They went on, yes, all conspirators killed Julius Caesar. I was also one among the conspirators. The conspirators are Cassius, Casca, and and other members, and including me, all of us, we got together, planned together, and just we murdered Julius Caesar because he was growing ambitious. Was it justifiable or not? Was it okay or not? Whatever we did, is it going to be accepted by you or not? So, just for sake of the country, just for the sake of the prosperity of our kingdom, just for sake of the common people, just for the sake of the advancement of this country, just for the development of the country, just for the future of this people. So we killed Julius Caesar. This was a wonderful speech. This was a wonderful speech. We killed not for sake of us. We don't have any special and selfish idea at all. Whatever we did for sake of the country. We did for sake of the people of this Roman kingdom. We did for sake of the future generation. We killed Julius Caesar because let the country should never be the slave to Julius Caesar. Do you want to be slaves? Or do you want to be free? Do you want to be liberators? Do you want to be slaves? Again, he asked a question. Again, he asked a question like this. No, 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 no. We want to be free. We want to be free. We want our own primary rights. We want to live like now also. We don't want to be slaves. All people, yes, yes, Brutus, Brutus, Brutus. He is a great person, He killed Julius Caesar for sake of us. Yeah, he is right. Somebody says that one citizen says that, you are right, Brutus, you are right. Then somebody says that, yeah, Brutus is scholar, he is doing everything for sake of the people only. So everybody began saluting and saying hi about Brutus. That's why here what happens? Brutus slowly becoming hero. He has taken the control. He has taken the total grip of the entire area with his power of speech. That you, the young people, you should understand the power of speech also. The power of speech, that's very important. How do you gain the power of speech? Can anyone tell me? Can anyone tell me? Nikita, Shivani, Bharati, can anyone tell me how do you gain the power of speech? Okay, tell me. I just wait for some time. I want to see. Come on, tell me. Shivani, Nikita, Afrin, Taisim, Gayatri, Nandini, Srilata. Saujanya, Akila, is there anyone? Or show your hand. I want to see how many of you are getting ready to give the answers. Dear friends, Nikita, yeah. So, may I know who are you? Taisin. Yeah, yeah, Taisin. Okay. Pardon? How do you gain the power of keeping the so huge gathering, huge crowd into your control? You can keep the entire crowd into your control only with your speech power. Is it right or not? With your speech power, you can keep the huge crowd into your control. If you don't know how to speak, can you control any person? Can you control any group? Can you control any gathering? It becomes very difficult to control any gathering without having any command over English language or any other language. Unless until you have control on language, you cannot keep any person to listen for hours together. Here, Brutus was a scholar, no doubt. Undoubtedly, he was a scholar. Undoubtedly, he was a gentleman. Undoubtedly, he was a philosopher. Undoubtedly, he was a wonderful person. Undoubtedly, he was a great nationalist. Undoubtedly, he was a great lover of his own country. Undoubtedly, he was a noble friend of Julius Caesar. But he was misguided. He was persuaded by the conspirators. So he, he had one weakness. Whoever talks very evil about his country, and he will not tolerate that one. Whoever talks very great about his country, he becomes very close to them. He becomes very close friend of them. He becomes very nice to them. In that way, the conspirators very cleverly planned for the murder of Julius Caesar with the cooperation of this Brutus. It was done in the drama like that. So that's why Brutus says that we did it for the sake of the people. We did it for the sake of. So we felt Julius Caesar was growing ambitious. So let that ambitious leader should be vanished. Let that ambitious person should be demolished, should be removed from the society, should be killed, should be finished. And in that way we killed. So is it okay like that? So one by one, people say, so let our Brutus be our rule. Somebody says that, yeah, yeah, you Brutus who are going to be the ruler of our kingdom. Suddenly people, they become a fan of Brutus by listening to his speech, they become fan of him. And one person got up and said that, oh Brutus, you are our future ruler. You are a future king of Roman kingdom. Somebody, yeah, you are right, you are right. Brutus is the right person. He is the most suitable person to be the king of this kingdom. So like that, one by one, so praising Brutus. This was the condition. This was the condition. At that time, somebody entered. At that time, somebody entered. Who is that person who came later? My direct question to all the students, who is that person who came later? Now Brutus was ending his speech. He was about to take leave. Okay, my dear people, that cruel dictator, that cruel person, a person who didn't take care of the poor people, so that brutal, so Julius Caesar was murdered. Okay, don't worry about that one. Don't worry about your primary rights. They will be like that only. And very soon you are going to have very good days, and we all got rid of that greedy person. We all got rid of that ambitious person, Julius Caesar. So saying, so this Brutus was taking leave from there. Brutus was taking, okay, my dear, so Romans, countrymen, my dear friends. So Romans, countrymen, my dear friends. Romans, countrymen, my dear lovers. So I take leave from here. Slowly he was about to descend down that pulpit, the stage. Exactly at the same time, what happened? There, there was the entry of another person. Who was that person who was entering at the same time when Brutus was disappearing from the scene? When Brutus was leaving, somebody was entering. Can you guess who could be he? Can you guess, please, who could be he? Let me know about your opinion, because you had an idea, you had an experience of listening first time. So about this drama during my absence when I was on leave. So madam taught you. It seems you listened to her speech, her class. You might have gained some idea about that one. All these Zoomline classes, video classes, all of them are meant for providing knowledge to the students. You should make use of these electronic devices, electronic ways of teaching, electronic ways of learning, ICT methods, all IT so methods, everything that you have to imbibe, you have to uh, make them available. You should always make useful them. In that way, you can be strong enough as far as knowledge is concerned. Otherwise, I think it becomes very when when Brutus was about to leave, there happened Mark Antony. Mark Antony was another noble friend of Julius Caesar. Mark Antony was another noble friend of Julius Caesar. He was not coming alone. Hello, my dear students. He was not coming alone. He was coming carrying the dead body of Julius Caesar. He was coming carrying the dead body of Julius Caesar on his shoulders. The dead body of Julius Caesar was wrapped in the cotton cloth, and that body that he was keeping on his shoulder slowly was coming into that ground. One step by step, he was just coming on to the stage. All the Roman mob, the citizens of Roman kingdom, who were gathered there in that ground, all of them rose. They got up. They were eagerly looking at at Mark Antony. They were eagerly looking at the rolled item. What is there on his shoulder? Is it dead body of Julius Caesar? It seems it is dead body of Julius Caesar. Oh, oh, this is the dead body of Julius Caesar. Oh, everyone coming very near to the stage, coming very near to the stage. Immediately brutal. Okay, my dear. So, Romans countrymen, my dear friends, I am leaving. Here is Mark Antony is coming. So, listen to him. Listen to him and honor his speech also. As you honored me, as you honored me, you also listen to his speech, honor him also. So I am taking leave. Oh, my dear future king, future king of this kingdom, thank you very much. Oh, you are leaving. So shall we accompany you? Shall we accompany you? So some citizens, out of love or out of ovation, they're coming, they're saying that we'd like to accompany you, sir. We'd like to come with you, sir. We'll drop you at your home. Like that, some people are there saying like this. And here when you turn this side, so saying, Brutus left that area. Now what happens? All the eyes of the common people turned this side toward that stage, and there was one person standing on the stage. His name is Mark Antony. Now